Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel. I'm a board certified obstetrician gynecologist in New York City, and I'm bringing to you all things health related for women. Thank you for joining me at the corner today. Today is Saturday. Obviously, I'm not in the office, and on Saturdays, as long as there isn't a competition and the instructor's able to commit, the girls have horse lessons. I don't do horse lessons. The girls have horse lessons on Saturdays at 8 a.m. So we're usually the only people here at 8 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, and today is no exception. We're the only people here at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. But it's nice because it's very peaceful. I don't know if you can see much. This is a large horse farm, and if you're just joining the YouTube channel, Facebook, or the podcast, you'll know that I have two daughters. They've been taking equestrian lessons my oldest is now 15. She's been taking riding lessons since she was 5, and my youngest daughter is 11 as of last month, and she's been taking riding lessons since she was 3, and at this farm the whole time. So we're always here at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, provided there aren't any extenuating circumstances. So I thought today I would speak. Recently I did a couple of sessions on how to know if you're having an ectopic versus an ectopic or a tubal pregnancy versus a miscarriage. And today I thought I would do the second half of that, which is how to know if you're having a miscarriage and the ramifications and how to adjust to it. And I'm doing this topic because I recently had a patient in the office who had a miscarriage about 2 months ago, actually a month and a half ago. She had a miscarriage a month and a half ago at an outside office, and she was very upset about it because it was a wanted pregnancy. And when she came in recently, she was pregnant again, and she was very upset about the pregnancy because she said, I can't go through having a miscarriage again. How do I know this is I need to know if this is a miscarriage straight away, and I need to know what to do about it if it's going to be a miscarriage and I'm not going to be able to keep this pregnancy again. So what I told her is severalfold. One, what we always do is, obviously when you're pregnant, you do a urine pregnancy test, and that test is going to be positive or you wouldn't know you were pregnant. So I told her, all we know is that you're pregnant. Obviously we have no way, since I'm not God, we have no way of knowing if that pregnancy is going to be normal or not normal, because all we know is that you're pregnant. We don't know where it is, and we don't know what the viability of it is. So as I told her, we'll get a blood pregnancy test to confirm that it looks like it's a reasonable or a robust hormonal number reflecting the pregnancy at this point in time. So whenever someone's pregnant, the first thing we do is we get the urine test, and that's called a qualitative pregnancy test because all it is yay or nay. It's just the big picture. It's a yay or a nay. Once we know that person is pregnant, then we get a quantitative test, and that quantitative test is always a blood draw. The blood hormone number will never tell us exactly how far along the pregnancy is, but it will tell us a ballpark figure because we know what, at the minimum level, what that hormone should be for how far along we're saying the pregnancy is. And if that hormone number is not at that kind of minimum threshold for how far along she is, then we already know it's starting off not looking so good. So we got her blood hormone number to give us a ballpark figure of the pregnancy. Now, she was upset because she was told that, I think she said she was told that 10% of pregnancies will miscarry. And I said, it's not actually 10%, it's 15 to 25%. Statistically speaking, about 15% of pregnancies will end in a miscarriage, and an additional 10% of pregnancies will miscarry, but we're not aware of them. And that's because those women didn't do pregnancy tests. They just assumed they had a weird period or that they had a late menstrual cycle, but they never assumed that they never what's the word called? They never harbored the idea that the weird menstrual period was actually a pregnancy, so they never did a pregnancy test. Now, if they do a pregnancy test and it's positive at the time that they're having that strange menstrual period, we call that a chemical pregnancy. And that's because the only way we knew this lady was pregnant is because the chemistry told us that. So she did a pregnancy test and it confirmed that she's pregnant. Otherwise, there was no other way to know that she was actually pregnant. So when someone's pregnant, we do the pregnancy test. It confirms they're pregnant. Doesn't tell us anything else about the viability or the location of the pregnancy. It's just a yay or nay. We do the blood test to give us a ballpark figure to see if it agrees or disagrees with how far along we're saying the pregnancy is according to our menstrual cycle. And then what we do, if there's a concern about about a potential miscarriage, or someone is really anxious, maybe they've had ectopics or miscarriages, or they've just had a lot of bad news surrounding their pregnancies, then we do what we call serial HCGs, or human chorionic gonadotropin. We do serial blood pregnancy test. And what those serial blood pregnancy tests will tell us is if the pregnancy is appropriately growing according to the stage of the pregnancy. So on average, that pregnancy hormone number, the HCG, should double every 2 to 3 days. So if someone has a lot of concerns, we'll get that initial pregnancy number, and then all we'll do is we'll just repeat that pregnancy number in 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 days, and 2 to 3 days, and we'll see what the gradation of it has been. If each time we do that pregnancy number every 2 to 3 days, it at least doubles, and realistically speaking, instead of doubling, it does instead of being 2 times higher, it usually does about 2.5 times higher. As long as it does that, then we know that the pregnancy looks like it's starting off normally. That looks like a viable pregnancy. Once that hormone number has shown us that it's appropriately doubled, then we do an ultrasound or sonogram, because depending on how early that lady came in to confirm the pregnancy test, it may be too early to see the pregnancy and its location on an ultrasound. So if someone is 5 weeks, we can't see the fetus, but we can see the tiny, tiny little ball of fluid inside the uterus, which we call a gestational sac. So all we can see is a gestational sac, and we should see a response, basically a reaction to that implanted pregnancy, which is what the gestational sac is. We should see that response. We call that a decidual reaction. So we'll know that the pregnancy is at least in the uterus. We'll know that it's starting off normally because the hormones have appropriately doubled. And we'll see that tiny little bag of water, and we'll see the uterine response, which is a change in the echo texture on the ultrasound. We'll see a decidual reaction. If we have that, we know it's a viable 5 weeks. And then we'll repeat the sonogram in a week to a week and a half. At 6 weeks, we should see the fetus, and we call it a fetal pole. I always say it looks like a tiny little gold bar inside that bag of water. And at 6.5 weeks, we should see a heartbeat. So we'll see the tiny little gold bar, and we'll see the flickering. I would say it looks like that. Looks like that on the ultrasound. We'll see the flickering of the heartbeat at 6.5 weeks. So 6 weeks and 3 days, we should see the little flickering of the heartbeat. So that will tell us that we have a viable intrauterine pregnancy and everything is starting off normally. So I'm going to stop things right there. I'm trying to limit these to 8 to 10 minutes. I know a lot of people don't like watching long videos, so I give them in little bite-sized amounts, and then I will come back at the next presentation and do, I think will be a conclusion on miscarriages, how to manage them. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me here at the corner. It's Dr. McDaniel. Actually, yeah, I'm too far away from the barn to really catch a snippet of Joy. She's doing her lesson right now. So, and all the horses are inside the stables. So these are some of the stables. There are more. I try not to go into the stables anymore because honestly, I have really strong, I guess from all the years of coming here, it's gotten worse. So my allergic reaction to the horses and everything, it gets a lot worse. But these are the stables back here. I guess I'll go through a little bit. Just fly through. We've been coming here for so many years that over the years it's just gotten worse and worse with the sneezing and everything. These are some of the stables. These are the indoor ones. Let's see. Oh God, it smells like urine in here. I don't actually know how to turn this around, so I can only do over the shoulder shots. I like this white horse back here. Washing thing there, and then this goes on. This is a really large farm. So these are some of the stables. I haven't been back here in a long time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.